Well, good morning. Hello, everyone. Hello, Lawrence. How are you?
I'm doing great. You gotta love the stuff Camera Mandi does.
Isn't that something, man? I mean, that is just. I mean, that little intro is just wonderful. You know, it just she's very talented, and she's been at Disney for like a week and a half, so she's very happy right now, right?
Oh yeah. I'm sure she's been over there like Disney ripped that off from me and Disney ripped that off from me and
they all stole all my stuff.
Exactly. I'm also looking forward to any time that she goes anywhere, she buys a mountain of stuff for all of her nieces and nephews. So I'm sure she's going to come back with like 4 suitcases of stuff.
Dude.
Oh, yeah, for sure. We are so excited to have you this morning. We have a really great show. We definitely have over an hour of content. So I'm not even going to pretend like we're going to stick to that.
We'll do our best, though, I promise. But we do have a lot of stuff we're going to talk about. Camera Mandi's obviously gone. Thank you, Lawrence, again for helping us out. It's marvelous. Lawrence is Camera Mandi's brother and also a fairly accomplished streamer himself. One of our marvelous streamers is part of the Uncanny Pros group, and of course there's the Marvelous Misfits, and there's the Roll Hit Die people. There's Ben and his crew out there in Germany, and we're actually having a couple of more folks who are coming on who are wonderful to do that. We have some that are doing just video, and then others who are doing streaming. So there's more and more people who are interested in having our stuff out there for them, and that's a wonderful thing. Very exciting for us. So we're going to talk about Genghis Khan. We've got a bunch of cool social media stuff to show, a special tribute that we want to bring, very touching, touched my heart some time back. We've got the current submission round we got to talk about. East for Destia, we're going to show you the book. We got, of course, the Easter egg winner, so who looked over the maps and all that stuff. And we've got the Underdelver Naving contest that continues on, and we've got the Vendraxia tour that we're going to do. And then, of course, we're going to finish with the Netherdeep, where you have a chance to win some prizes. So it should be a lot of fun, right? We'll see. We'll see how we do, right, Lawrence? Because it's kind of a test, right? We have Riley in the background. Gooey Riley is in the background trying to make sure that we don't have any problems, right?
This is one of my favorite things about working with the Goo crew in general is that you'll talk with Alphinius one moment and he'll be like, yeah, we're going to do it the exact same as what we did last week. And then the night before, he'll be like, hey, I have these ideas. Is it going to change and be a lot of work? And you're like, yes, that changes everything. That's not even close to what we did last week.
I don't think this is true at all. I think you are embellishing.
It's the best when Camera Mandi's around because it's always like, hey, Camera Mandi, I know we have like 8 hours to stream, but do you have enough time to do 200 hours worth of work?
Anyway,
we'll get it done.
On that note, so first and foremost, we're going to talk a little bit about Genghis Khan because it's coming up soon, yes? So,
absolutely.
So many Gooey people are coming, right? This is at the end of February. Genghis Khan is in Denver, and we are actually doing the Gooey Great Gooey Genghis Game Show giveaway, which will be streaming from Genghis Khan on Thursday night for opening ceremonies. And I guess there's already well over 125 folks who have already registered, and I don't think we can fit more than about 200 or so, 225. So if you want to be a part of that and you're coming to Genghis Khan, I highly recommend that you register for it and put your name in because it could actually end up being standing room only, which we're very excited about. And of course, we're going to advertise it. So there's going to be a lot of people, I think, watching the stream as we go forward. And we might even have some celebrity players. So this is very, very exciting, right, Lawrence?
Oh, yeah. It's going to be, well, first of all, it's going to be 100% packed. Do not think that you're just going to show up and walk into it because it is going to be standing room. It was standing room only last year. It's going to be standing room only this year. And it's an absolute blast. So make sure that you lock that in. I'm looking at the schedule events. We have a bunch of Gooey Cube games going on there that weekend too.
Marvelous Game Masters. Casey sort of headed that up, but we have Marvelous Game Masters, so we're going out there and they're going to run a lot of Gooey games. And look how many of them are starting to fill up, right?
Oh yeah.
So that is really exciting. I mean, that's just going to be, it's wonderful. I mean, we got so many of our friends coming. And so it's going to be a Gooey party along with being a Genghis party, and Donnie and Andrea are marvelous, and there's so many wonderful things going on there that are really going to be fun. And so if you can make it and you still think you might be able to come, we'd love to see you and have some fun together. So we will hopefully see you at Genghis Khan. I've got a special announcement to make about the Genghis Khan, but I'm going to do it as part of the social media stuff that's coming up. So why don't we just dive into that, Lawrence, too?
Sounds good. Do we have any special surprises for the booth? Are you guys doing anything cool this year for it?
We might have a couple things going on, but I'm not telling those yet. We'll see what we'll see.
Sounds good. Here we are for your social media roundup. If you did not check out, make sure you go to the Gooey Game Masters Guild of Enlightenment. Figured out how to get as many G's as you could, didn't you?
Yeah, well, it's just happened, right? So listen, we don't often show sort of other people's work, but this one was just Kelly put this up, and it was so funny. You know, it's just this poor satyr, right?
Oh, that's okay. I was like, what? And yeah, that makes more sense. Jeez.
That's the way I perceived it, at least, right? And it just gave me a chuckle, and it was so odd and a little macabre, honestly. But
100% macabre. This is like, hey, we walk into that freaking rich NPC's mansion, and you see the head of a satyr, and you're like, okay, so this guy's evil alignment. We should definitely
that'd be interesting. With him. Yes, the satyr's head upon the wall seems to be looking at you, even though the eyes are glass.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yes. Oh, might have to break that out one of these games, one of these days. Anyway, Kelly, is marvelous. Thank you for this this fun little post. All right.
There's a cleric that's just rolling with it. It's like, I can't speak with dead. You're like, great. Now I'm gonna make the satyr's head talk.
So Christy put this up, and this is marvelous. And by the way, we always make sure we include the credits for people's stuff. But this was so funny, right? You want to read it, Lawrence? You can go ahead and read it.
Cynthia secretly regretted her previous unholy union with the secret. Oh my gosh. But baby Catapus was hers, and she would love him regardless.
I just, this is the thing that I love, and why we want to show this social media stuff, and why we love the social media stuff is because the Gooey Den has so much what I consider to be very creative and wonderful things, right? And I'm a creative person. It's been my career in the advertising business and all of that stuff when I'm not being a wizard. And there's so many places we can gain inspiration from, and so many things. And there are wonderful posts that we put up, that people put up, Keith and Kevin and Adam and Pam and Heather and I apologize if I'm not saying you, because there's so many of you, but there's so many good and wonderful posts that are put up of people's work that, and always credited, which we're very thankful for. Jacob does that too. We have got lots of people who put up stuff that inspire you, right? These wonderful imagery, and just who have been made by wonderful creative people. And this is why I really love the social media, not just for the humor. I also love it for the inspiration, right?
Absolutely. Also, ladies and gentlemen, a quick little thing. If you're having any issues hearing us or anything like that, let us know on the back end. We can fix a lot of that stuff.
Are we having any issues, Lawrence, as far as you know?
No, I don't think so. I just like to go ahead and put that out there. Like, hey, tell us if you can't hear us or something.
Yes, and also if you have not given us a little follow on the show, give us a follow. We're getting very close to 500 people who have sort of subscribed to our channel. And that's wonderful. So give us a little follow, help us out a little bit. That would be marvelous.
Absolutely. All
right. So Skip put this up, and this is fascinating. And I did not do a fact check, but I didn't get a notification from Facebook that this was fake news, evil posting, right? Whatever goes on, So I kind of believe it's real, and it was fascinating to have this place where this ferrous iron mixes with water, and it melts down the glacier and looks like blood, right? And it's just, I was like, whoa, and a lot of people really like this. There was a lot of comments about it. And again, another thing that you just kind of look at and you go, whoa, that could be something very interesting in a campaign, right? Christina, it is. That's good to know. Yeah, I had a feeling just even looking at it that it was pretty cool. I saw that, Kiki. I saw that, and I have something for you today too, sir. Yes.
I did a quick Wikipedia check and it came up as true. What's funny is that if you put this in a campaign, though, nobody wouldn't believe that it wasn't magic stuff. Like, oh no, that's all science. It's all regular. Like, no, clearly something's wrong. We need to investigate it. Like,
yes, indeed. All right, next. So I had to put this up. I don't usually put up my own stuff, but dear Mike got me this marvelous world map of Zyathé for a gift. on this marvelous fabric that's kind of antiqued, and a number of people really liked it, and a number of people asked, could we do something like this? So we can, but we've got to do a volume enough order that the price is just not ludicrous. And these are actually friends of one of our partners, Colt, and who make these. And so what I'm going to try to do is to try to figure out, kind of gauge interest in something like this. And if we can get enough folks who want to do some of these cloth maps, maybe we'll make a one-time order and get that done. And if you're kind of interested in that, maybe put some stuff in the chat. This thing was, I want to say it cost Mike $80, $70, something like that. That's probably in the range where they would probably be, even if we are taking a very small, modest markup, if we do this. So this is my problem. I must tell you, Valron, this is my problem. I am a map freak, right? This is the issue, right? And Lawrence knows this, right? I know. I think they would be really. You have no idea how nice this is. I mean, you feel it. It's tactile, but not only that, it's kind of waterproof and you can water resistant, right? So you can actually lay this on the table, right? There's, if you're not a person who does this thing called TV or whatever on your tabletop, if you actually use physical stuff, this could be real nice. So anyway, if this is something that's interesting, we're going to send out an email about this in a couple weeks after Mike's done some talking to them. And stop it, Kiki.
Kiki is going to be a person that interrupts Alphinius' train of thought this entire show. I'm positive.
Anyway, we'll see what we can do. But I'm glad you all are enthusiastic about these. I think they are marvelous. And of course, we've been working so hard on maps. I cannot wait for you to see these printed versions of the Essenvert map, the map set. And and of course, I'm already so enamored with the West Verdestia map pack, and the East Verdestia map pack is even a little bit better. So I think that those of you who got those in the Kickstarter are going to love them. All right, let us go on, Mr. Lawrence.
I had a quick question. What size? Do you have any idea what size? Like how many? Like is this like 50, 100? Like what kind of like?
We could do like a quantity of like 50. I don't think it needs to be hundreds or anything like that. I think that these folks would give us a little bit of a price break and allow us to make a little bit of a markup on it. Not anything crazy, but make a little bit of money, which would help Gooey Cube and be able to still give folks a good and wonderful product at a reasonable price, which is always the goal, right?
Well, the nice thing about this, unfortunately, obviously the maps have to be folded to get shipped. This thing isn't going to have any wrinkles or anything in it, which is going to make it look great.
Indeed.
We have a new task for Harry to start working on.
What'd you say there, Lawrence? You would kind of
the 3D model of the map. Oh, did I help out for a second?
Did you all see somebody posted that globe? Did you see that a while back? And I don't think we showed it in the social media, but someone actually posted a globe where they would take in a world, right? And the world was on the globe. And I was like, oh my goodness, would that not be something, right? To have that for Zyathé. So I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see about that as we go forward. This is marvelous. So I really want to make sure everybody knows this. These are our friends Matt and Daniel. And they have this DM specialty manufacturing group. They have like 10, 15, 20, I don't know how many, 100,000, 10 million. They have all these printers. And they've started this little business where they're printing miniatures. And they and Harry kind of got together. And Harry's going to kind of donate his STL files, and the DM specialty guys, Daniel and Matt, are going to donate their printing time and their printing costs. And the first 200 people that come to the great Gooey Dungeon Genghis giveaway game show, whatever that is.
Jeez, sir.
The first 200 people get a free miniature. So that is really exciting. It will be one of our miniatures of our marvelous characters of the world of Zyathé. And Harry, Harry's gotten pretty good. His miniatures are really looking quite amazing. If you haven't had a chance, you can check out this post and see. And I'm working on getting a whole set for myself, and then I'm going to have those painted up and kind of see where it goes. That's that's the next phase for Alphinius.
Harry's doing such a great job at making his miniatures not look like anything else that's like out there. They're their own style. They look so their own category. It's
Well, and
awesome.
you look at this, there's Elizabeth, of course, your dear Elizabeth is right there, right, as a Sarth, right, and she is a Sarth Fusilier, right, with the flintlock, the fusils, right, and of course Jen's marvelous Unseelie Fairy was just done, and then there's of course Lokebutt. His name is Lokebutt. And there's Keith's is on Lador, and the person underneath the +8 is Mike, is Mike's character. It's amazing. And Harry, we are so thankful for you doing this. And Harry does this just for fun. This is his art, right? And he doesn't. The only way he gets paid is if somebody buys an STL or buys a miniature. And we are going to probably work with DM Specialty to have them do the printing of Harry's miniature, so Harry doesn't have to deal with that. Going forward, Harry and I talked about that. So we'll actually be supporting, if you buy some of these miniatures, you'll actually be supporting Daniel, and Matt as well, which is wonderful. And of course, come to Genghis Khan and get a free miniature. Plus, they're going to do some bigger ones for giveaways as part of the whole stream. So there's going to be some really cool stuff. And that's just the beginning of all the giveaways. You're going to be blown away.
Absolutely.
Aha! Yes, so Marvelous Brittany took some photographs of the Arizona sunsets, and I took a moment to take a peek at these, and they're really, really glorious. We live in Colorado when we're not being wizards and living in Zyathé, and Colorado gets just some magnificent sky. When John Denver said in his song, "I've seen it rain and fire in the sky," I never really understood what that meant until we lived here, right? And these are really pretty pictures, Brittany, and I just thank you for sharing them with us and taking the time to give them to us. If you have a chance, you should take a peek at them. They're quite beautiful.
Absolutely. Let's see here. Pop.
Yes. So this is our dear friend Jacob, who is playing with this thing. I don't know if y'all have heard about this. It's called Wombo.art or something like that, right? You have to help me out, Lawrence, with that a little bit. But basically, Jacob went in and they put in keywords. And Jim Hibbs has been doing quite a bit of this too. You put in keywords and certain things, and based on what you put in, they spit back out to you these really, they're very abstract, right? But they're still quite nice. These artworks that are just stunning, right? And so Jacob messed around a little bit and tried to get the Gloom Port, and he really, really captured the feel of it, And Stacy, I so agree with you. Just some of the stuff that he has put out is just magnificent. And of course, he's got a little homebrew around Zyathé and some of the places that he's put out. I look at them and I go, wow, that's cool, So anyway, it's really, Jacob, thank you for this and for sharing these with us. And if you haven't had a chance to look at them, again, I just encourage you. This is the people who are contributing on this Facebook page in particular, but also even on the Discord page, are really bringing some wonderful, inspiring things that are worth your time, right? It's not just a picture of some regurgitated meme that has been, seen 400 times, across the board. This is really wonderful, inspirational stuff. And if you are a creator, and I know most of us are, if you have this creative bent, these things are worth spending time with. So anyway, these are just, if you haven't, take a look at this, make it big on your screen. Don't look at it on your phone. Give yourself a chance to really look at it, and you're going to be like, whoa, all right.
If you're a game master and you're like, man, I really wish there was a tool or a resource or this, post it up in the den. I have found everybody across it has such a shared collective knowledge that we're here to make your job so much easier. If you're like, man, I really wish there was something that I could go through and create another handout because I have a specialty thing, obviously you can use this. For me, I'm a tech guy. So if you're like, hey, I really want to know, I have a player that's going to be home for COVID, but they want to play. I need some way to integrate in people that are there with him that's over there and all this kind of stuff. We all got expertise, and we're happy to pile it all on you and just give you all the knowledge that's across it. Do not feel shy posting up for help in there.
Indeed. And the thing is, what I want to tell you is this what Lawrence said is, I don't underscore it, right? There are so many game masters. And the thing about the Gooey folks, and what I've noticed is that there is such a desire to be better as game masters, to improve your game, that kind of stuff, which a lot of folks don't. They just kind of think they got it and they're all that and they're good, right? I want to tell you that even me, right, at my advanced age, right, I still learn from you all and gain from you all and things that I find out from you all, and it's helping my game, right? And so So, you know, one of the things that you learn sort of in this creative business that I've been in is that you always can grow and you always can learn. And it is great to sort of immerse yourself in creative things, because that helps expand your mind in these areas. So
Absolutely.
you who write, you who color, you who draw, you who paint, you who weave words and poetry, all of these things, right? You who sculpt, all of this stuff, right? Just know that inspiration can come from many places. So yes, 5,000 lives of men I've lived, and yet I have no time, right?
That's a solid line. I don't know what that's from, but that's a solid line.
So listen, Alyssa put this up. Alyssa and Harry have been talking about painting, and Alyssa put up this marvelous dragon, which I am so envious of right now, and I'm trying to figure out where this dragon comes from. And so somebody's got to tell me, where did this dragon come from, because I'm going to get this dragon and add it to my rather insubstantial collection. Yes, my modest collection, right, Lawrence? The small amount.
When are we doing a tour of your game room?
One of these days, we will do that. One of these days, yes, we will. That'll be fun.
Fun fact: Alphinius game rooms is actually 2 game rooms
and a storage unit under the house, right?
That's the other funny thing. Yeah.
And of course, we got a game room at Gooey headquarters too now, right? So it's really it's up to nut.
Hey, Alphinius, are we playing the game room? No, we're playing the pool table in the other room. All right, bud.
Isn't that not a beautiful model, though, Lawrence? That's a great dragon, great pose. You know, it's just really good. You know,
that's a fey dragon, in my opinion.
It's big. That horns, interesting, really, really good. All right, let's go on. And I hope you all like this. I hope you enjoy this. This, if this is not enjoyable, people need to tell me, because I'll cut it back. But I feel like it is. And I wanted to put this up. This is Zach. Zach is one of our marvelous people. Zach works for Elish Gardens, and Elish Gardens is restoring this marvelous carousel, right? And Zach and Brandon, I think it's Brandon also, right? Brandon is also helping, right, Lawrence? That's in the note there. I think I'm correct. Yes.
Yeah.
They are restoring these marvelous horses, right? These marvelous carousel creatures. And it's just, I looked at it and I went, oh, this is such art, you know. And then Tanya posted up this whole wonderful video about the history of carousel and how all this stuff. I mean, it's just wonderful. And Zach, my hat's off to you and to Brandon for this marvelous effort to make this so special. So,
can you imagine if a Blue Veil or a Hanataj troop had like a carousel to set up? Like, what kind of thing that they would pull out?
It's in my mind, you know. I start thinking, wouldn't that be wonderful? Some kind of a magical sort of carousel, right? You know, wouldn't that be something?
I'd make it mechanical. Just have that fun aspect where
technical artificity, right? Yes, okay.
People think it's magical and it's not. All right, what do we got here?
So this was just a little love that Jim gave to Geeky Hoodie, because if you don't know Geeky Hoodie, every morning, very early for me, he does coffee with Geeky, and it's a fun little time. And he just talks about whatever's kind of going on, and I try to tune in when I can. And Jim also tunes in and gave Geeky a little love because of the coffee thing. But he forgot to change the name. So now it's called like Airplanes Make Strange Bedfellows or something weird like that. Because this is how that Wombo thing works. You put in all these weird words and strange things pop up in the art. I haven't tried it yet. I'm going to.
Wombo.art. Huh. That's fun.
Yes.
All right. Let's see here.
So this is special. And I'm sort of past the emotion of it because it's been a little while now, but our dear Lydia lost her daddy probably 8 weeks or 9 weeks ago now, 10 weeks ago. And she and I talked quite a bit. We put a mountain, a name, and then out of the blue, she said, you know, I talked to my family and we would love to have my dad in the Gloom Port as a maroon. And she sent me this wonderful picture of him, and he's got this marvelous smile on his face, and it was just so touching and marvelous. And I went to the artist and I said, you know, we got to really, you know, our artists always try really hard, but I said, we really got to work on this, you know, and we really got to make sure this is special. And anyways, she really, the artist really captured, TJ did this. He really captured this marvelous man's wonderful character, who Lydia tells me all the time how dear a man he was, and what a joyful man he was, and what a wonderful thing, you know. And so now we will have him, and Lydia is working on a marvelous little store where we will meet him in the Gloom Port as part of her submission, and he will live with us in Zyathé, and this is really a wonderful thing. Lydia, much love, my dear. I know this was hard, and I'm glad it is getting easier, and as one who have lost both their parents, I understand greatly how much pain it can bring. But as time goes on, I promise you'll begin to remember more and more of the good times and the smiles and the fun and all of that stuff. And the pain will lessen. And that is the good thing, right? Because that is where we want to live. And that is where he would want us all to live, right? To live in happiness, not in sadness. So this is a wonderful thing. Lydia, thank you for honoring us and letting us to honor him a little bit.
I'm excited. I love wholesome NPCs, so it's great to have NPCs that have weight.
If you have a chance to read the little tale that Lydia wrote, it is so good. It is so good. It's along with the post. It's just wonderful. It's just wonderful.
And they can find that up in the Gooey Den.
They can. Yes.
Excellent. All right.
All right. So this is the last one I wanted to show, because I think there's one more after this, right? I think there's one more. But sure. This is the Wombo art that Jacob did. He did a whole series of homebrew, and so when you get a chance, take a peek at these, and you will really, I think, love how he sort of strung all these together and sort of part of this homebrew stuff that he's doing. So take a peek, and I think you will really, really like it. Harry posted up this thing. This is from Games Workshop, and they have this sort of dwarven forge thing, and it's totally cool. And I think Harry painted this. And anyway, it's from. Just check it out when you get a chance. If you're a miniature freak like I am, you know this is going to be like another one of those things that you are filled with envy over. So now I have to dig around try to find this damn thing.
You will stop a game for 20 minutes to find the right mini, which at a certain point, you're like, well, I've invested so much money into this. I'm going to have the exact way that it's going to be.
There are times, I admit it.
It is great.
All right.
And the last one.
So again, we don't typically show sort of artworks from other folks, even with credit, because, you just want to be careful about people's copyrights and all of that stuff. But Chris Achilleos is an artist who has been doing this stuff for a long, long time. And if you are unfamiliar with Chris's work, you should take a peek at it. We lost Chris in December, and this is just this marvelous image of this dragon sort of confronting these people in the castle, right? And it's just the expression on the dragon's face. It's just wonderful. And so Stephen posted this up for us, and then Kevin was posted up where he is, and then Kevin shared it with us. And no, you're exactly right. Indeed, it is an old piece. It has been long. Chris was actually born in 1947. So Chris was making art for a long, long time, and that is wonderful to know that it is seen out there. And I just I can't tell you how marvelous. If you have a chance, check out Chris's work and remember him well, because this is the legacy of wonderment that he leaves, which is fantastic. And Kevin, thank you for posting it and giving us a chance to remember Chris.
Absolutely.
All right,
Alphinius, we have a little bit of a change in scenery. How would you like to go to the Gloom Port?
I would. Yes, I would. So, my friends, right? So we have the Gloom Port, right? This is the submission round that we are doing right now. And the Gloom Port is underneath Darken Haven. And it actually was the salvation of many people who lived in this area during the War of Ruin. Okay? So the Gloom Port is what is what now though has become sort of the docks and the portage for the city, and it is massive. Go ahead, Lawrence. Take my big head away and put that picture up big because it's much better. Look at this. This is not so. I mean, I said to you this before, right? I said this last week. I think. Can you not hear it? The bells of the ships, right? And the calls of the fishmongers, right? And the vendors as they scream. The smell of the smoke and the fish and the salt and the brine, right? And all of this marvelousness that is going on in here in this incredible cave that is huge in the depths beneath the great city of Darkenhaven. And this one, I've told many people, this has been a dream for probably since the late 80s, early 90s. And I have had this in my mind in one measure or another for so long. And please, yes, Nick, thank you. Let us really have a great time with this together, my friends, and let's make this really, really special. And because I think your players are going to be blown away at the intrigue and the creepiness. Adam helped us with a marvelous sort of eldritch horror adventure that starts in here called the Glooming Doom. And we've got a number of places that I know in particular, like Scott and John have a location called the Night's Edge Tavern, which is literally going to be right next to Night's Edge Outfitters, which is literally going to be right next to Strong Arm McGillen's Tavern on the square in Gravenston. And Lawrence knows about Strong Arm McGillen's Tavern because it's been around since I was a kid.
Because I've been there.
These are the things that we are bringing, and different people are bringing, and of course Lydia bringing her marvelous daddy, and all of the characters and all of the stuff. And I truly believe this could be one of the greatest campaign settings ever. Right? Gloom goes. Stacy, I love it. I already said I think it is fantastic. It needs to be part of that submission. You need to do it, and I'm not sure what the reward is yet for the Gloom Port submission, but I think it's going to be one of the poster maps, or it's going to be one of these wonderful images in a poster size for you. Maybe this one. I think this image that was done by Ferdinand is just spectacular, and so we might even do a little vote on that with the people who are making submissions. Give you a chance to decide. But it'll definitely be something that's worth at least $20-$25 in value, so that's worth your time to do 400 words or so of content. Night's Edge Adventuring Company, thank you, Scott. I appreciate that very, very much. So anyway, I can't wait for this. This is going to be the last thing we're going to produce from the Kickstarter. We're still working on all the maps. They take back and forth, they take about 6 weeks each to really get them nice. And some of you have seen pictures of them. But anyway, I just really hope that you're as excited about this as I am, because when you combine Darkenhaven, what they call topside, right? You combine Darkenhaven and the topside with this Gloom Port and the trolley that runs in between, and all of the things that are going on, and the syndicate called the Oath of Blood that is down here, and of course Father Jiki's temple is in this place, right? And Karaskul Thyra shows up, right? And the governess, right? And we've got Rycroft the Red cruising around, and all of these are people. This is unheard of. This is insane, right? This is unbelievable. And it just keeps happening. It just continues on, and it is marvelous. And I've never thought that it would come to as great as it is really coming, and it is all due to you all. Thank you so much. So,
I love that.
Anyway, I'm waxing. You got to cut me off, Lawrence, when I get talking too much. You got to shut me down.
Camera Mandi. I ain't keeping this to one. We're a 6-hour show today, folks. No breaks.
Anyway, Gloom Port submission. You got till February 15th. Please make sure you keep in the feeling of Zyathé, right? People are afraid of magic. They don't have crazy magical stuff going on all over the place, right? They have magic, no question. They have interesting magic. They have scary magic. But it is not just like super fantastical. It is measured, right? And people have a healthy and fearful respect of such things, right? So we don't have shops that get up and walk around, and we don't have people flying all over the place with the with magical jetpacks or whatever. This is not Zyathé. Because we really want the fantastical to remain fantastical, and when everything is fantastical, then nothing really is. And so that's why we sort of pulled it back a little bit, is to give more of that feeling of fantasticalness when things are fantastical. All right, let us go to the next thing.
I would say a couple details real quick. Where do people get a submission link from?
So you should, if you have not joined the Contributors Guild, you need to join the Contributors Guild. And you can find that there is the announcements. It is pinned to the top in the featured thing. The welcome announcement to the Gooey Game Master's Den is right there. You have to go in. There's a little password you have to put in. And then we will send you a little DocuSign form, because one thing I say this all the time to people: do not submit anything that is valuable to you in terms of something that you might want to do something with in the future. So if you have a really special character that you don't want, that you might want to write a novel about someday or whatever, don't submit that, because the material, the only way we can do this is the material must become the property of Gooey Cube. So we give you a reward, we give you compensation for that. And so just make sure you give us things that you're okay with giving to others, because that's the idea, right? So join the Contributors Guild. You'll get a DocuSign document that will basically say it's work for hire. That's what it basically says. If sign that, execute that, and then you get a link. Then you get the live link to the submission form that is customized every time that we do the submission round. And I think this is submission round 11, which is amazing. Amazing. Hundreds of people in the Contributors Guild. We're getting, I don't even know how, the Gloom Port submissions are off the hook right now. So it's very, very exciting.
All right, here we go.
What are you cackling about, Lawrence?
I enjoy everything about it. I really do. I enjoy the Gloom Port. I enjoy the contribution between everybody. I mean, the fact that you have hundreds of writers essentially contributing to it, like, if you really wrap your mind around that, as far as putting hundreds of input, there's not a single project you can get hundreds of opinions on. You can get a smaller room and you can get a few opinions on it, and they can gather. But like, the idea that you're creating a world that has hundreds of direct opinions to it, that's really crazy if you've ever worked on a group project before.
Well, there is some complexity to it, as you know, and obviously that's another thing. You don't have to be a great writer. We'll edit your stuff up. A lot of people who are submitting stuff are just okay, right? They're not necessarily, out there ready to be published like Stephen King, right? That's not, and that's okay. All right. The idea is the thing, right? The thing that you love about Zyathé, something that you want to bring to Zyathé, that's the thing. All right. So let's get yourself signed up for that if you're not a contributor, and you can be a part of this, and you get really some very nice rewards. Yeah, I just love this image, right? Just you showed this last week, and you can keep going, Lawrence, and we can go to the next thing.
All right, next thing that we have on the list here is I take a look at the thing that you went ahead and gave me. East Verdestia book preview.
You need to make me big for this one, yes? Yes, my friends. Look at that. Is that not something? Is that not something?
That is huge.
So originally, and I don't know if I could do this backwards, but I'm going to try my best, right? So originally, the tome was supposed to be 250 pages, right? Oh, you have one down there. Yes, it was supposed to be 250 pages. And there's just so many wonderful things that were done in here, and so many wonderful people's efforts, plus, of course, a little bit of yours truly's and AJ's and some of us else, right? It just kept growing, and the tale kept getting better. And I'm having bad luck trying to get to the artworks. There's a lot of artwork in here. But it really has, Monsters Mayhem. Yes, this is Christina. Christina actually submitted this. I think Jason helped her a little bit with it. It is a tale of that actually is a flying ship, right? It is a flying ship. There aren't many of those in Zyathé, but this one worked. The tale worked in the scope of Zyathé. And how am I doing here? There we go. That's much better. Yes. Yes. I got to move in the mirror, right? So this gives you an idea of Monsters Mayhem, and there's a great tale around it. It's a wonderful little thing. So anyway, as you ponder the East Vedestia tome, you will say, Alphinius, did you really do, a 250-page book and make it 400 pages? And why would you do that? Because it's a lot more expensive. And the reason why I did it is because the tale needed to grow in the telling. Indeed, it did.
400 pages.
Matt and Daniel, they did the Estanasa, the Algerian territories. Really, really wonderful. There's one of the images of it. Anyway, East Vedestia is being produced in right now, and we're going to be sending those out to folks. And I hope our goal is always to exceed your expectations, and this is what we are trying to do. So 400 pages, a beautiful tome, wonderful, wonderful tales that you can tell with your players.
The first Wounded World Cyclopedia is like 253 pages.
Yeah, I know, it's smaller. It's smaller. Gosh. All right. So next we're going to do the Easter egg thing, right?
No, next. Well, we can do the Easter egg thing if you want. Next up I have is Underdelvin naming contest.
Oh, we can do that, and then we'll do the Easter egg winners. Let's do that.
Good. All right. Well, let me go ahead and get this another screen back up. Boop. And
so don't forget now, we're still doing the Underdelvian, we call them Underdelvian, that's our placeholder. The Underdelvian naming contest, these little cute little things that live in the far deep. And you have a chance to put your name in for this contest, a little bit of why you named them that way. And give us a little bit of lore that might help, right? And then if you win, you get a wonderful poster and something special that we'll do for you for naming the Underdelvians. And everybody really loves these goofy little guys, and I do too. And I'm very excited to get them named. And they will, of course, if everything keeps going the way we're hoping, in 2022 this year, we will do, with our Kickstarter, we will do the Cyclopedia of the Races. And that will, of course, include these and the Fire Race, and a number of others. So wonderful. So make sure you go to the Discord and get yourself, give us a good name. Okay.
Discord link pops up inside of the chat here. So if you guys do not have access to it, just pay attention to the chat. You guys will see a little thing that says, hey, join us on this. Now, these
I don't know if your players will buy that, but we did write these tomes so that they could be player used. Will they get some secrets? Yes, they will get some secrets, but they will not get so much information that might not even be just rumor and conjecture. So we did write these so that players could read them. That was the goal. So yes, there will be secrets in there, and you'll have to decide, if for your table, how much are you willing to give? But if you want to hand books to players, or if you want to get them to get players, only 1,000 pages, yes. But if you want to do that, that is a wonderful thing. All right, let's do the Easter egg thing. You want to do that, Lawrence? Is that work right now? Yeah,
let me get it popped up here. Do you have pictures for the Easter egg thing?
No, don't worry about it. Just you can focus on me because we're going to do it quick. So basically, the Easter egg contest was you were going to go on to look at the Gooey Cube East Vedestia maps and find some of these little hidden Easter eggs that we put in there, like a dedication to a writer who has done some wonderful work in the TTRPG world, or an artist, or perhaps even just one of our friends here in the Gooey world, right? Because there's an awful lot of you that if you look at a name on a mountain, or a name on a village, or a name on a bay or something like that, and you go, that sounds suspiciously like my name, it is very possible it was for you. So we had quite a few people participate. And we put all their name. Every time you got one right, you got your name put into a hat. And so we were only going to do one winner, but I think we're going to do a couple of winners. So Christy was the top numbers, and I think she was right around 60 correct answers. And then after Christy was Matt, and Matt was almost 30 answers I think were correct. And Alexander Bowser had 20 some that were correct, and then a lot of other folks didn't do quite so many as that, right? So everybody got their opportunity to win, and so we drew rather than drawing just one, we drew a couple of names. So the first winner was Blaine and Blaine Nicholson, and Blaine, we'll reach out to you and let you know. But you were the first draw, and you had only 10, which was kind of amazing. It's kind of like the lottery, right? In basketball, where suddenly somebody who has like 2 balls in this huge tub of balls ends up getting a bull. But Christy did win the second one with her massive number of finds. So those are the two winners. Congratulations, and we are going to send you both a one of the limited edition decks of Perilous Fortuity. And there aren't very many of these in the world, and I hope you're excited about that. There will never be more of these made. These were made for the Kickstarter. I hope that you and by the way, many people got these as part of the Kickstarter if they were certain levels of pledging. So but I'm excited to send these to the two of you. Thank you for participating in the Easter egg find of where's the wizard contest or whatever it happened to be. Marvelous. All right, how am I doing, Lawrence? We're running out of time.
We have plenty of time.
Yes, that's what you say.
Ready to take us through a tour of a far off land?
Yes, let's do it. All right, my friends. So the last thing, we'll do the Netherdeep after this. We're getting pretty close, but we've been talking about Vendraxia, and Vendraxia is this wonderful northern territory in the Essenverd. And Vendraxia, for all of you who like this cold weather thing, this is what's going on right up here. And we think we've done some wonderful things with Vendraxia. Jason and Nate and Michael, and I'm actually hoping to at least have some of them maybe talk here in the next week or two about Vendraxia if we can get them to do so. But when you look at the map, Vendraxia, if you look at Verdestia, right, which is the top left large continent, Nordruka is above it, but there's Verdestia, and you can go ahead and go to the next map and we'll zoom in on it. Verdestia is broken into 2 places since the War of Ruin. And East Verdestia is the one on the right. It's the east, right? Which in the central area, there used to be continent. There used to be land, but there is no more. But in the north, the northern portion of East Verdestia right there is Vendraxia. And so you can go to the next slide, Lawrence, and there you go. So there are 2 components of Vendraxia. There is the one that is more to the west, which is called the Vendraxian Wastes. And there's one that's more to the east that is called the Vendraxian Tundra. The tundra is more temperate. The east is more weather-beaten and cold, wind and desolate, right? And they're marvelous. I mean, I can just see them in my mind's eye, right? But, Gooey Cube, we're not all about always having to make people see things in their mind's eye. We try to give them the feel for it, right? And so, you have these wonderful rocky areas and of course, like this here, strange ancient ruins, right, that have been around for a long, long time, because the history of Vendraxia is that the Vendraxians were destroyed by the Eterns because they used outsiders, in particular devils, in their society. So this is the feel of it. Now, of course, this is the feel of it in more spring and summertime, right? This is not the feel of it in wintertime, right? When it gets an awful lot of snow and cold. But this is why a picture is worth 1,000 words. This is why I believe in this. This is why I believe so much in bringing it to your tables. I think it helps so much to put your players there, right? This is the wonderful thing about it. So you can get a kind of a feel for Vendraxia here, with the fjords and. Lawrence, come on now. Is that not marvelous, man? It is just, I
love it. I think the pair up with the soundscapes that Camera Mandi's doing too.
Oh, goodness gracious. Yes, if you haven't gotten your soundscapes and you were part of the Kickstarter, you need to get them. Now, we can't download them. That's part of our licensing agreement. You have to play them through our player. But we're working on the compression thing so that you can play them just as ambient music without any buffering whatsoever. We're going to talk Camera Mandi. She didn't want to compress them at all because she is an artiste, right? So she is an artiste and she did not want them compressed. And so when she comes back, we're going to do a little bit of compression on them because for some folks they buffer a little bit. So we'll probably give you 3 versions. You'll have music only with a very very compressed video file. and then we'll have a second version that's more compressed that you can definitely present to your players, but it won't quite have the top level quality that Camera Mandi really wants us to have. And then we'll have the normal ones, and they are wonderful. So I don't think it's yet Nate, but I think she is working on them.
Yep.
So
do you know which one she has available right now?
There's like 20 some of them that are available. I don't have the list all in front of me. She's done forests and it's just wonderful. And if you haven't had a chance to check them out, you need to check them out. It's just magnificent ambiance, because it's not just the ambiance of just music. It's ambiance of where literally you can put a picture behind that actually has some animation, and it can be sort of almost like showing graphics, right, as part of the thing. It's just wonderful.
Absolutely. Now, what kind of people are in this area?
So is the next slide the people? Yes. Well done. Just to like tee it up, sir. Tee it up. Yes. So the people of the Vendraxian wastes and the Vandraxian Tundra are relatively related, right? It's not like they're two separate real countries, right? Because Vendraxia spanned that entire northern area, and it was much less weathered in those times, because the high magics were in place. Controlling weather was not that difficult for these seriously capable magical people, right? All that kind of stuff. But the Eterns took magic to an entirely different level, right? They really, their mastery of the 10th, 11th, and 12th cycles of magic was just outlandish. And so what has happened now in the area of Vendraxia is that you really have, for the most part, these what they generically refer to as barbarians, right? These barbarous individuals, right? And interestingly, not just and by the way, this is not marvelous. This is a wonderful piece of artwork. We took some images and we took some filters and put them on top of them, gave them more of a painterly quality. But this guy chop your head off. So will this gal. But interestingly, there are not just Verdestians in the Vendraxian area. There are also Sundestians, and there are mixed tribes where there are Sundestian and Verdestian that have come together. There, of course, also are the Gurund. There are quite a number of Gurund that abide here, and of course the Gurund have at times mated with the Arachnoid, the orcs, and created the Ora Aguru. And these both here, we showed them last week, Lawrence, you showed them our Ora Aguru, and they are also fairly prevalent in the wastes and the tundra, as are what they call Hadronari. Jump back for a second, Lawrence, before we talk about this one. As are Hadronari, Ordrin, which are half orc and half elf, and Orniri, which are half human and half orc. And again, half is the wrong term. It's not half, right? It's just a mix, right? It's a mix of these two peoples. So you get a wonderful, really a wonderful mix of human beings and what we call hominids, right, in these areas. And they've come together, they've bred together, and so you have all these different this wonderful mashup of different hominids, and then they're all tough, right? Because they got to abide in this really dangerous place, right? This really tough region. But they are not the only ones there, because there are also, now you can go to the next one, Lawrence, the one I was going to show. There are also Gargant, which are the giant kind. Now, in Zyathé, as we progress, you're going to find that the sort of traditional giant of maybe, the 5th edition or other editions is probably not going to be the same as in Zyathé. They're going to be more realistic, right? They're not going to be, some 150-foot tall person that, really, when you start thinking it through, they couldn't live, right? They'd never be able to, there wouldn't be enough food, right? It's kind of like the Tarrasque, right? This Tarrasque that shows up. No, this is when you are a frosted type character, right? You're a Gargant that is meant to live in these climes, you're different, right? It's the Gorunda the same way. They have this skin that is different, right? And when we do Encyclopedia of Races, we'll find out about that. But the Gargant also live here, and they live in tribes, and they might also be a part of one of the other tribes. There might be Gargants actually as part of that, and so the Gorund can also, I believe, intermingle with ogres. And so there's a lot of really interesting things that are coming, right? I agree with that.
It's actually my mom.
Anyway, so this is just marvelous, right? So you got this wonderful northern feel, right? But it's really Zyathic, right? It's got mishmash of different peoples and intermingled peoples, and so it doesn't quite have what you think the sort of traditional thing that is going on. Plus, there's more to it. Let us continue, Lawrence. So, the Vendraxians not just used these outsiders, these devils and the imps and other types of creatures. They did not just use them as slaves. In times, they intermingled with them. And this intermingling did not produce many offspring all the time, because it was not something that happened often. In fact, it was difficult to have the offspring. In fact, many times the mother would die, many times the child would die, many times, there would be no conception whatsoever. But every once in a while, one of these would be born. And now, through the centuries, those offspring bred into the rest of the Vendraxians, right? And now the claim is that virtually every barbarous individual in the waste and the tundra have this devil blood as part of their thing. And this is marvelous for character creation, right? Gives marvelous opportunities to add little spicy things to characters and all of that stuff. You can go to the next one as well. And it doesn't need to necessarily be that it's obvious. There's not necessarily horns sticking out or anything like that. It can be just a very normal looking individual who has this outsider traits within them. So this really, again, another little wonderful aspect that really is Vendraxian specific. It is not, you're not going to have somebody showing up from all over the place that are devilkin. It really sort of lives within this region. Doesn't mean you couldn't meet someone somewhere else, but they came from this region in most cases. So I love the tale of it. I love the thought of it. When you read the history, which was really crafted by as I said, Jason and Nate and Michael, and AJ helped a lot with this. And of course, that all breeds into the Eternic tale and the crushing of Vendraxia in the history, which you'd be able to read about this in the in the East Verdestia book. It just brings all this tale. It's just incredible. I'm so excited for people to be able to travel to these lands. What's next, Lawrence?
Next up is going to be creatures. I did have a question. Does the devil blood come up in a blood touch spell?
So this would not be considered a true blood touch. Okay, this is truly an blood touches don't seem to necessarily run genetically from adult to child. They can. It can happen, right? And it might happen with somewhat more frequency, but a blood touch can show up totally out of the blue in a family that's never had one, right? In this case, the devilkin thing is passed from parent to child and intermingled, right? Because these tribes do intermingle with each other. Some of them are at war with each other, but for the most part, they are friendly. They work together. Because they have a common enemy in particular in the Avoda Malu with the elves of the Avoda Malu in the Erolthadrine Empire. And then they also have a common enemy with the Arachnoids of Nadruka, are trying to really establish a strong foothold in this. That is absolutely, Thomas, that is absolutely true. There very much could be a devilkin-blooded person who has a blood touch. Absolutely. And for most of you who've been around for a while know that the reason we did the blood touch was because players want to have they want to do lots of different things and interesting things with their characters. But the problem is when over time, you end up with all these different menagerie. It's called it's a menagerie of all kinds of races. And it's so, when you really take it to its plausible end, it just gets so outrageous that you've got birds and hippos and elephants and weird humans and humans with horns and all that kind of stuff. And we have lots of races too, because I know people want lots of races. But to give people the opportunity to really craft a character that they really want with characteristics that are really unusual, but not have you as the game master have to come up with where the heck did they come from? Where does the race live? How did they, all these things that if you're trying to have some kind of a world like that, it can be really hard on us as game masters. And so that was the origins of the Blood Touch. But of course, it plays so much into the lore now of Zyathé and the corruption of magic and all of this stuff. And for those of you who pay attention, many say the Blood Touch came from the War of Ruin. But those with eyes to see and ears to hear and a mind to read might discover that there are tales that imply that the Blood Touch existed before the woe. But that is a tale still in the telling, my friend. Yes, indeed. All right. Let's do the creatures, and then we're going to stop at the monsters, right? Almost done, my friends. We're almost done to do the Netherdeep thing, and you got a chance to win some stuff, and then we're going to shut it down. In fact, you know what? Let's just stop here, Lawrence. Let's do this. Okay. We can do the creatures next week. Like I said, I'm talking to Michael and Nathan, Jason, and hoping that perhaps we can get them on. Even if Michael is in Japan and Jason, I know, does a lot of weekend stuff, so we might even just get a little pre-record from them or something like that. But I'll try to bring on more of the contributing authors as time goes on. It's been hard because the new stream system that we have makes it a little hard for bringing on people. Camera Mandi's got to learn how to do that well. So we're working on that. So let us do the last of the thing. But I do want to show you this because we did get these in, and I took a picture of them. But these were very special. We did very small number of these custom-made dice boxes. And they have the Gooey Cube on the front, and they are magnetic. And if I can do this without spilling, right? And they hold your dice, right? They hold your dice in there. And we did this as part of the Kickstarter, and some folks got them. And we have a few left. And we're probably going to, in the next month or so, put these on the
dibs.
They're not cheap, Lawrence. They're handmade. They're really, they're really wonderful. I bought one because I couldn't resist. But anyway, that's what I think we're going to do with the few that we had that are extra. But there's all kinds of cool stuff that we're making, my friends. And as part of this Netherdeep thing we're going to do, we're going to go on this little adventure together. And it's the goal is not to have it be long and extensive, but it might be for a number of weeks here until people start saying this is boring or I don't like it very much. But what today is sort of a test to make sure it's going to work okay, because what we're going to do is, as the adventure progresses, questions will be asked of the people in the chat. Okay? So you'll get a chance to answer a question. And if you answer it correctly, you will have a chance, being one of the correct answer people, to win a thing we are giving away in that time. Today, we are going to give away 3 decks of Perilous Fortuity. Not the limited editions, but the regular ones. Okay? So today, we're going to give away 3 of those. So you will have a chance to win whatever's being given away that day, but also for every question, no, it's not. Good try though. For every question that you get right over the period of time that we do this, which is going to be at least 8 weeks, I think, and it might be 12. It depends on how everybody's enjoying it. If people are really enjoying it, we might go a little longer. We'll see how people are liking it. Okay. But you'll have a chance to win. And then when you win, answer a question correctly, you'll get an entry into the future drawing for the big prize thing that we're going to do at the end. And I don't know what that is yet. We're talking about it. but this is sort of a test, and it'll be something kind of cool, right? Oh, and I made a mistake, by the way, on the Easter egg hunt. Blaine's actually gets a copy of the limited edition Eastward book, not a deck of Perils Fortuity. Christy gets the deck of Perils Fortuity, the limited edition one. That was the original agreement. We just added that extra thing in. I apologize for I just wanted to remember that, Lawrence. I've been trying to keep it in my mind. Didn't want to make a mistake. Sorry. So Riley, I hope you got that. So anyway, so you get these questions, you answer the questions. Everyone you answer correctly, you get dumped into a bin for a big win at the end, but you also have a chance to win the day of. So hopefully this will be fun. It won't be real long, but we're going to sort of explore this Netherdeep. And if everybody likes it, maybe we'll think about making it a dungeon, sort of a side quest adventure in the future. All right? Here we go.
Quick note for folks. In order to enter into this, you have to be on the Twitch channel. So if you're ever watching on Facebook right now, head on over to twitch.tv/Gooey Cube.
And you will have a moment because I'm going to do a little reading here before we ask the questions. Yeah,
but make sure you're over on Twitch to enter that in. We'll make sure that the entering commands are very, very simple, and so just pay attention to Alphinius and have some fun.
Simple. Ha-ha, right? Super simple, Lawrence. All right, you ready, my friends?
Oh, I'm ready.
Let us begin. The common room of the Bleakwater station was smoky and loud, filled seemingly to the brim with more than a few scoundrels mixed in with traders and travelers who were journeying the dangerous Bogshore Road. You had come this way yourself, seeking in particular a pair of individuals who were said could guide your party to the infamous Netherdeep dungeon in the Oldroik territory. The two were rumored to be staying at the station, and indeed, after an inquiry with the barkeep, you found yourselves sitting at a table across from a hard-looking dwarf and a scar-faced Duna Hadraneri, who both seemed of somewhat questionable character. After hearing your tale, the dwarf spoke first, his voice deep and gravelly. "So ye be wanting guidance to the Netherdeep, do ye? Well, fools ye be. But me and me cohort'll guide ye for the right price." And he was interrupted by the dark elf half-breed, whose scarred visage made it difficult to focus upon anything else. He regarded the dwarf first. "My apologies, Tiok. I only wished to make sure these adventurers understand clearly." Then, looking at you, he lowered his voice to an almost menacing level, saying, "And what my friends means is that we will guide you only. For once we have brought you to the entrance, our contract will end. In no uncertain terms will we accompany you into that cursed hold." The dwarf retorted, "'Tis no worry, me friend, and I agree with ye to be sure." Then, looking at your party intently, the dwarf asked a question. "Tell me now, do ye even know where the Netherdeep be?" All right, my friends. Here is the first question. You have 4 opportunities to answer. Answer A, answer B, answer C, or answer D. You will answer by putting an exclamation point with the letter that you think is the correct answer following it. So exclamation A, or exclamation B, or exclamation C, or exclamation D. And based on that, we will pick our winners. There will be no results shown in the chat until we stop the voting, or the answering, if you will, because obviously people could wait and see who got the correct answer and then answer afterwards. So, here we go, my friends. Where be the Netherdeep? Answer A. At the base of the Wormrest Mountains in the Oldroik territory. Answer B. near Wathertop in the Uldroik territory. C, right beside the Egg of Kruut. And D, in the Nethershade Valley. Go ahead, my friends. You have but a minute to make your choice. A, at the base of the Wormrest Mountains in the Uldroik territory. B, near Wathertop in the Uldroik territory. C, right beside the Egg of Kruut. And D, in the Nethershade Valley. Now we can play the Jeopardy music, right, Lawrence? How are people doing? Are people answering correctly? We have any mistakes? Anybody goofing up?
We have a lot of people going for A. We have a lot of people going for D. So that's what.
Yes. Very, very good. Exclamation point A, exclamation point B, exclamation point C, and exclamation point D.
Hey, Riley, in the background, will you just double check to make sure that people that are putting lowercase letters are also being entered? I'm pretty sure it doesn't matter, but I would just verify that.
Marvelous. So, if you've already voted, we're not going to try to drive everybody. We pretty much done here. We got everybody voted at this point, or questions answered. I know some people are digging quickly through their encyclopedias, trying to search out posts.
We'll give them a 10-second countdown.
Yes, 10-second countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're done.
All right, Riley, go ahead and close out the survey, and let's get. Or do you want the answer now, or are you going to reveal it?
Well, what do you think? I should probably reveal it, right?
Probably.
So those who answered D in the Nethershade Valley, you were darn close, but you are not close enough because it actually is outside the Nethershade Valley. It certainly is not beside the Egg of Kruut. It is not near Wathertop. It is actually quite far away from Wathertop. So the correct answer is indeed A, at the base of the Wormrest Mountains in the Uldroik territory. Congratulations to all the winners. One of you will be picked at random to win a deck of Perilous Fortuity.
Would you like to wait?
Are we having fun? Is this good? I hope everybody's enjoying this madness, because the dwarf is going to look at you and ask another question. I hope I'm doing well by Tiok, Harry. I'm giving him my best. Well, you got some smarts, at least some of you do. Okay, I got another question for ye. Where be this blasted inn where you find yourself right now? All right, my friends. Exclamation point and letter. Answer A. On the Bogshore Road in Donvin near the Wolf's Reach. Answer B. On the Bogshore Road on the border of Donvin and Vandraxian. Answer C. On the Bogshore Road in Vandraxian near Krusop's way station. Or D. In Valandia, right next to Rimthravak. What do you say? Make your vote. Answer A. On the Bogshore Road in Donvin near the Wolf's Reach. Answer B. On the Bogshore Road on the border of Donvin and Vandraxian. Answer C. On Bogshore Road in Vandraxian near Krusop's way station. Or answer D. In Valandia next to the castle of Rimthravak.
Everybody answering in right now. You're doing a great job. We need like 30 seconds to get the trivia question up. So go ahead and hold on to your chat commands for a second.
So do I need to give Riley a little more time? Did I screw that up for him?
No, it's up and going now. I think Riley just ran into a snag on his thing. So it's up and going. Everybody go ahead and re-enter in. By the way, what's the name of the inn that we're in?
It is. Well, okay, so somebody put in chat what the name is. First one who puts it in there, I'll do something nice for you. First one. All right, ready? The answer is the Bleakwater Station.
All right, you guys are at Bleakwater Station. And then what are the answers again one more time?
Answer A, on the Bogshore Road in Donvin near the Wolf's Reach. Answer B. On the Bogshore Road, on the border of Donvan and Vanzentia. Answer C. On the Bogshore Road in Vanzentia near Krusop's way station. Or D. In Valandia next to the castle of Rimthravak. Which is one of those throwaway answers, you know, because it's certainly not near the castle of Rimthravak in Valandia.
IVD. I'm not sure of that. So that's IB. You need to do exclamation mark B. You want to make sure you get
Exclamation mark B, my friends. Exclam B. If that is your vote, that is.
Also, Alphinius is so old, he still has a landline in his house.
And we'll never take it out. You know why? Because cell phones break, sir. You crazy millennial peoples. You think everything's just going to work all the time. Yes, they just work all the time. You know, and now you're old and need some help. Just vote again, Gerthen, if it did not vote correctly. Just do it put it in again and make sure it answers for you. We still got time. We're giving you a moment more.
Yeah, Gerthen, it won't give you a confirmation for your vote.
Oh, that's right. Yes, because if it gave you a confirmation, it would give you an answer, and then everybody in the chat would see the answer, and then people could wait and see what the answer really is. So you won't get a confirm, but don't worry. Riley assures me that it's working. This is why we're doing this test, right? We want to make sure that it's going to function. And I do hope this is fun. I hope you're enjoying this. You know, this is kind of what we're going to do. We're going to learn a little bit about Zyathé and go into a dungeon and have a little adventure and have some mystery and some puzzle and some other things like that. And we'll kind of see what happens. Yes.
This is just too funny not to put up. Nobody loves that sound nerf herder. All right. I think we're probably ready to rock and
You like
roll.
We need a monster in Zyathé that makes that noise.
And
All you young people don't even know what I'm doing. All right. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. Aha. All right, my friends. The dwarf looks at you again. Last question. Perhaps you might be worthy, but of that we'll see. What be me name? Exclam and letter. Answer A. Durnock Brystone. Answer B. Andric Brystone. Answer C. Teok Brystone. And answer D. Carissa Ambershue.
Did you want to reveal the answer to the previous question before we go on to the next?
Yes, I can do that. Well, that'll give Riley. Hopefully, Riley's thing is working. The answer to the second question. Well done, Lawrence. Way to keep you in line.
Also, hold on for your answers real quick, folks.
Answer B. Answer B is the Bogshore Road on the border of Donvan and Vanzentia. It is indeed on the Bogshore Road, but it is not near Krusop's way station, nor is it near the Wolf's Reach. And it certainly is not in Valandia near the castle of Rimthravak.
All right. Riley is closing.
Go back and do it again. Just make sure everybody's good with answers.
Yeah, so I was going to say, everybody just sit tight for a second. Riley's going to close out the last poll. He's going to open up the next one. Once you see in the chat where it says like this, that's up on the screen where it says Moobot, vote now. That's when you're going to go ahead and you're going to enter it in. So just give Riley one moment. Alphinius, if you
Riley,
want to...
maybe what we need to do, that's why we're doing this test, my friends. This was ours. We want to make sure how this would work and I wouldn't screw it up too bad, right? That was that was the real concern. Is the old wizard going to screw it all up, right? So probably what we need to do is figure out with Camera Mandi and Riley sort of how we how much time he needs, or does he give me the go ahead or something like that going forward.
Oh yeah, for sure. So I go, it is open now, folks. So you can go ahead and vote. If you want to go ahead and repeat the question one more, Alphinius, just to make sure everybody gets it.
Well now, perhaps you might be worthy. Of that we shall see. Here be your last question. What be me name? Answer A. Durnock Brystone. Answer B. Andric Brystone. Answer C. Teok Brystone. Or answer D. Carissa Ambershue. Ha!
I think he was born Carissa Ambershue, and he changed his name.
Well, of course he did.
That's my vote.
Answer A, Durnock. Answer B, Ondrick. Answer C, Tiok. Answer D, Carissa. Well, Lawrence, people seem to be enjoying this madness.
Oh yeah, we're doing good. I was just double checking with Riley. Riley's behind. I have two people in my ears right now. Riley's just going through and he's just announcing that Moobot how to vote in the chat multiple times and stuff. So the same poll's open. He's just making sure it's out so people know how to write in the correct chat command. So it's working out good.
Exclamation in the letter. This will always be the way we'll do it every week. Okay. All right.
I think we're good for a countdown.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done.
And the correct answer is D, everybody. Okay, moving on to the rest of the dungeon.
It's not true. That's not the correct answer. The correct answer is C, Tiok Brystone. Don't you forget it now.
A ton of people.
How'd I do, Harry? Do Tiok justice?
I thought his name was Nerf Herder.
How many? Nerford. I should have put that in. Nerford Brystone. That's the lesser known little brother. He ran away from home when they were young. All right, my friends. I hope this was enjoyable. I hope you had a good time with us today. Thank you for letting us go over a little bit. Congratulations to the winners of the little Easter egg contest. Congratulations to those who won this one. All three of you will get a when we pick the name, when we pick the final winner, we'll announce that. How are we going to do that, by the way?
Riley has
we're not going to do that in the show, right? We're going to do that later. Or how are we doing that?
Do you want to do it in the den, or Riley has all three of the names right now?
Well, Riley, you want to do it right? Well, I'm sure everybody'd like to hear right now who. Now the thing is, though, that means if you won, you got to make sure, because everybody uses these goofy handles, right? So we need your email and who you really are, right? So what you need to do is if we announce you as the winner for the Deck of Perilous Fortuity for this last little thing we did in Oldroik, or excuse me, in the Bog Shore Road area, right at the Bleakwater Station, we need you to stick in the chat and make sure that you take a moment when we shut down and give Lawrence and Riley your email. Okay?
So Riley is here. He's ready to announce the winners, Alphinius.
Do it, Riley.
All right, just making sure everybody can hear me, right?
I can hear you good.
All right, perfect. So Geeky Hoodie, you won the first one. C Pelton 07, you won the second one. And Lydia Chan, you won the third one.
Awesome.
Good for you, my friends. Marvelous, marvelous. Congratulations. So now all of you, though, who got the correct answers, you will be entered into the big drawing for the end. So do not think that it is not worthwhile to come back and answer every week as much as you can. So come and hang out with us and adventure with us a little bit. And we think this will be fun. I hope you all enjoyed this. If you got any ideas of making it better, if it wasn't that fun, tell us too, right? We need your feedback to make this little stream better and better. Lawrence, right. Truly, my friend. Riley, thank you both for your help. Lawrence, you in particular, who filled in marvelously for Camera Mandi. You want to say anything to the friends before you go?
I did. I just wanted to remind. So C Pelton 07, Geeky Hoodie, and Lingia. How do you pronounce her name?
Lydia Chan.
Lydia Chan. Make sure you send us a whisper on Twitch, just with your email address. Then you'll receive a email back from the Book of Knowledge as far as so we get your details for how to receive your prizes for today. Thank you so much for letting me fill in over the last couple of weeks from Camera Mandi. I will be back, I'm sure, to help out with more Gooey Cube stuff. And everybody, have yourselves a great day. Stay safe, and stay healthy.
Indeed. May all your adventures be sticky, my friends. Ta-ta.
Take care, everybody.